Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Good morning. Good morning. So excited to see you all today. I'm excited for the day that we have ahead. Sundays are one of my absolute favorite days of the week. So I'm so excited to be presenting to you guys on a Sunday. As you join, bring your open mind, your open pieces of paper for a little bit of writing that we'll be doing later, and also for you to take notes as things come up that you may want to be reminded of. So get a few pieces of paper and something to write with. Make sure you are also well hydrated. That's one of the aspects of caring for ourselves. So excited to be here with you all today. Welcome, welcome. Good morning for those that are just joining. Just a reminder to bring your open mind, your open heart, and a couple of pieces of paper as we'll be journaling a little bit later. I invite you also to bring your water with you to stay hydrated. We are in for an amazing conversation today. I am so excited for the opportunity to co-create with you all. Good morning, Adam. Hi, Keisha. Hello, Facebook world. Good morning, Zakia. So excited to see you all. Good morning, good morning. And thank you, Facebook, for joining us.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Facebook community. Good morning, Wake Up Everybody community. My name is Amealya Blake, and it is an absolute honor and pleasure to be here co-creating with you all today. There is a spirit of a nurse inside each and every one of you. You're caregivers, you've nursed kids, you've raised different siblings like me. I'm the oldest of 7. I feel like I've been a nurse pretty much all my life, but officially I've been a nurse for about 20 years now. And what I have learned throughout my career is the resiliency of the human spirit. Just to share a little bit about me, I am a Jamaican born, New York raised Californian. I lived in Jamaica until I was 11 years of age when my family then migrated to the US. At the time, I migrated with my mom, but my dad's family came a little bit later. So I grew up between Bronx and Brooklyn. I developed my nursing foundation at the Visiting Nurse Service of New York. I was one of those people that you saw walking down from building to building, going in to take care of the members within New York City, primarily Manhattan and the Bronx. Throughout my journey, throughout my career, I've had the opportunity to touch many lives, but more importantly, to have those lives touch me. The greatest blessing and the greatest takeaway that I have taken throughout my career, again, is that resiliency of the human spirit. After about 3 years ago, I decided to go back to travel nursing, something that I had ventured in early on in my career. And it's actually what brought me to Oakland, California. Right now, I work for Kaiser Permanente, which is a health plan similar to Blue Cross Blue Shield. And we provide care to the Medicaid population and to the most vulnerable aspects of those population. That's kids with special needs and adults with special needs. And again, the thing that I have encountered time and time again throughout these different patients and members and communities that we serve is the importance of having a resilient spirit throughout the different things that are going to come up throughout your life experience. To get us started, I would like to get us grounded in a breathing technique. Connecting with your breath is one of the easiest, most accessible tool that you can use for your well-being. And this particular breathing technique is called drop your shoulders and smile. As we go into this breathing technique, I want you to pay attention to the feelings and the emotions that are coming up within you. All right, we're going to do 3 practices of this breathing technique. So just find a comfortable position and drop your shoulders and breathe out. One of the things that you can pay attention to as you go throughout your day, if you find your shoulders are more raised and up, that it's usually a sign that you're feeling tense. And it's usually an opportunity for you to practice this particular breathing technique. So I invite you to drop your shoulders and breathe out. You may close your eyes if you feel so inclined. And just release all the tension that brought you here today, all of the rushing to get here, all of the emotions that may have arisen in you before this moment, and just breathe all of that out. And take a deep breath into that smile. Again, and drop your shoulders and breathe out. And take a deep breath into that smile. One more time. Drop your shoulders and breathe out. And take a deep breath into that smile. Now, I would like to invite 1 or 2 people to kind of share what that experience was like for them. You can feel free to also put it in the chat as well. This is going to be a conversation experience. So I invite you to, if you're willing, to turn your cameras on as well.
All right, let's ask Kaisha if you would share if you engaged in the practice, what that was like for you, and then also Stacy Evans.
Good morning. Thank you. I'm sorry. I can't turn my camera on right now. Um, but yes, that was once I got into a good, comfortable position. Um, I started to relax. I like breathing exercises because it is a reminder for us to relax. And when you mentioned about the shoulders being tense, um, I think when we have these sessions with the breathing exercises, it's a way for us to get more connected to the topic and to stop what we're doing and and the connection is the word, but it's like more in tune, with the speaker and with the topic for the day. So yes, I was more relaxed. It caused me to just release everything that's happened in the last week and to focus more on what the topic is going to be for today. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. And the next person that you mentioned, Shani?
I mentioned Stacy Evans. If you're engaged in the practice, just share what it was like. Let me ask her to unmute. Okay, there she is. Stacy, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't hear you. What is with my sound on Zoom?
Can you hear us now? Okay.
Okay, I can hear you now. Ask
Right.
ask me again. Sorry.
If you did engage in the practice, what Amelia just guided us through a few minutes ago, what was it like for you?
I did engage, and I always like doing those breathing exercises. I mean, obviously, this is first thing in the morning. I'm rested because it's first thing in the morning, but it's still always good to like stop because I'm rushing around getting ready to start my day. So it's good to stop and remember to like take time and breathe and think and center myself before I rush off into the whatever things I have to do. Um, so yeah, I love that so many of our sessions start with remembering to take a breath and remembering to center ourselves. And I'm complete.
Awesome, Stacy. Thank you for sharing. You mentioned just the importance of centering ourselves. So, connecting with the breath has many benefits. And one of that is that it's activating your parasympathetic nervous system. Your sympathetic nervous system is your fight or flight response. It's that adrenaline, it's what keeps you going throughout your day. But if you're going, and not taking the opportunity to center yourself, you're not actually bringing your body back to a state of calm. And it's that feeling of calm that actually creates that feeling of well being. When you activate your parasympathetic nervous system, what it does, it brings your body back into a state of balance and into a state of coherence. And in that place, you are really taking yourself into the present moment. When you're in the present moment, you're not worried about what happened in the past and you're not anxious about what happens in the future. And quite often, it's that worrying about things that came before and then concern about things that happen in the future, that's what causes that anxiety and those feelings of just being off balance. So bringing yourself back to that moment of being present and being with what is right now is important keys to practice throughout your day. I love to take different breathing technique when I'm going in to see a patient, or when I'm going into from meeting to meeting, or from conversation to conversation, or doing from activity to activity. When you pause and just connect with the breath, you're letting go of all that came before so that you can meet that new moment fresh and as it is. So just incorporating breathing technique in through your day is one of the easiest, most accessible tool that you have at your disposal for your well-being. So thank you all so much for going through that practice. And let's see, I love what Louis says, so true about worrying about the past or future. Exactly. Um, from Facebook, we have D.Y. Forrester that says a moment of breath work allows me to be selfish. I get to focus on me. And there's this idea that when you're focused on yourself, it's selfish, but really what it is you're practicing self-care for you. When you fill your cup up, when you are bringing yourself back into a state of peace and well-being, it's actually when you're best able to serve others. It's you're not giving your fullest self if you're not filling up your cup first. So exactly, focusing on you is that opportunity to be in filling your cup up so you can best serve others. Going into our experience of resiliency, our conversation around resiliency, I would love for you guys to share some experiences where you would need to bring in those resiliency tools. You can either put that in the chat, or I would like to invite one or two people to kind of share some experiences that you would say you need to call on those resiliency tools. I know right now we're in COVID time, so that alone is an experience where we're having to call up a lot of the things that helps to focus on our well-being and get us through those moment to moment. Terry says when she's upset, interactions with her children. How about homeschooling? Anyone having that experience of having to homeschool, or working from home, or experiencing loss? About 11 years ago, I experienced one of the greatest loss to me and to my family. I mentioned that I was born in Jamaica and I migrated here when I was 11. At the time when I migrated, I came to live with my mom, and shortly after, my dad's siblings came as well. So I was going back and forth between my dad and my dad's siblings. My dad stayed in Jamaica because he had created a life there. But during that time, he worked in immigration, and he was traveling back and forth. And I was going back to Jamaica all the time. So he was an active physical presence in my life. And one day, I was living in California at that time. This was my first venture into travel nursing. And I received a call that my dad was missing. And later on, throughout that process, we came to find out that he was kidnapped and later presumed murdered. And I say presumed, we say presumed because we were never able to locate his body due to the area of Jamaica that he was taken to. As you can imagine, just the experience of going through that trauma, not just for myself, because I don't think we understood what a light my dad was to our family until he was no longer present. And going through that period of experiencing that brought up the time where we needed to find the most resiliency within ourselves. Throughout that period, it took us to dark places. It took us to places where feelings of depression, anxiety, worry, fear, all of those experiences, it brought us through those various emotions. That period, though, was one of the period that caused me to go inward. And in going inward, it helped me to find my connection to faith, to a higher power. It truly allowed me to find my connection to self. Oftentimes, we go through these challenges in life, and those challenges are there to help us get stronger in who we are. And it's those experiences where we are required to dig deep in our toolbox and bring out all those tools to help us get through those moments. Zakia shared, yes, I deliberately homeschool my children in the 90s, participating in homeschool 2 of my grandchildren during this time. Thank you, Louise. Charmene says, from Facebook. I'm working with a client on hospice and have been with her for over 5 years, and it has been very difficult for me. I would like to invite a few people just to share what their experience of going through just these different things that comes up, and what are some of the tools that they've had to draw on. Zakia, would you be willing to share?
Yes, I can't come on camera this morning.
Oh,
Uh, this entire experience of COVID there's been a lot of growth for which I'm extremely grateful. I've been, prior to COVID, in a deep growth for over 2 years. So this came in at an already challenging time. And my grandchildren have already been through a lot in the last 2 years. So their personal frames of mind are difficult to work with. The older one that I'm working with is 8 and very grown. And the 5-year-old is on the autism spectrum as well. So it's a lot that I wasn't prepared for. I thought it would be easier because I've done this before, but it's been a long time. So it's a daily challenge. I'm working through it.
what I hear that there's hope in your voice as you're dealing with what you're dealing with. What are some of the tools that you bring forward to help you as you're going through your day to day? What are some of those things that you're able to call on?
Primarily prayer and meditation.
Awesome. You know, those are two excellent tools, and it is my journey with my own experience that actually pushed me into a deeper understanding of mindfulness and deeper understanding of practicing the art of meditation. And meditation is one of those things that takes you from activity to silence to help you to connect with that greatest power source that exists within you. Can you share just some of the benefits that you found with doing those practices?
Uh, I hesitate to use the word sane because I don't believe any of us is actually sane. But it gives me a level of centeredness and sanity that helps me deal with not just my grandchildren, but my daughter, who is actually, we're triggers for each other for a variety of reasons, a ton of reasons. I couldn't begin to start listing them right now.
Mhm.
Being in close quarters with her is what part of what makes dealing with them so much of more of a challenge, because they're also learning how to treat her and how to treat me from how she treats me.
Mhm.
And that's something that I'm really working on correcting, because it's a it's not a good situation, and so working with them with that dynamic is extremely challenging.
Yes. And I hear in your share your intention that you want a different outcome. And having that intention of wanting that change, of wanting it to be different, just holding on to that intention is something that will help you to continue to move forward. One of the greatest things that we can do as we're going through challenging experiences is acknowledging what you're going through, acknowledging that feeling. And I know we live in a society or in a culture that doesn't always honor you acknowledging what you're going through, you know? And so making a practice of just listening to yourself and telling yourself the truth of what I'm feeling in this moment is actually one of the greatest tools that you can use as well. How do you have conversations with your daughter?
Uh, Not usually.
Not usually.
I will attempt to start a conversation, and inevitably it will turn into something out of left field that I end up just shutting down. Uh, yeah, not no. We're not there yet. I keep trying, but so far I've not been successful having a constructive conversation with her.
Yeah. You have the intention that you want to keep trying. Now, uh, our families can often create the greatest challenge for us, right? It's also the greatest opportunity for us to grow. It may not always feel like it when we're going back and forth, but you said something truly profound, and it's that she's not there yet. And you can only meet a person where they're at, right? And taking knowing that it's an intention for you to change and to shift this, it's having the intention is one thing, but also recognizing where that person is at as well. Sometimes it's actually a point where you want to bring someone else into that conversation. um, this actually came up for me recently, just the idea around therapy, you know. This Wake Up Everybody community has been an amazing source of healing our wounds and acknowledging the things that we're going through and finding support around those things. In the family, that can also come in the form of therapy as well. And having a third party, an impartial party that is listening to what you're sharing, listening to what your daughter is sharing, and maybe eventually bringing your grandkids into that dynamic can be a pathway to actually get you towards that healing space that you guys would ultimately want to get to. I know it's not always easy, and I know people are not always ready for it, but it is an avenue and it is a source of getting to that space where you guys are actually able to hear each other.
Um, I agree with that. And uh, through this family, this Wake Up family, I've grown so much over the last several months.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if Mika's on the line today, but I definitely want to thank her. The last time she presented, she introduced something that resonated with me, and I followed up on it, which is the Court of Atonement. And I had already been thinking about trying to work my daughter into going, well, starting myself going to Mika for therapy and consultation, and ultimately getting my daughter involved in that as well. And I think that the Court of Atonement will be a way to get there without going through continuous overwhelming conversations with my daughter.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm working in that direction. I'm on track with you with that. I agree.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm excited for you, and I am excited for the growth and healing that I already see within you. Thank you
Um,
for sharing.
Thank you.
Amelia and Z, if you could stay, what's moving in my body right now, Z, is like deep, deep sadness. And I know that for me, I experience you as a peaceful person. Um, and I'm sorry, I'm moving through it as I'm sharing, so give me a second.
Okay.
When I think of Amelia's topic about the spirit of a nurse, I'm like, in order to nurse yourself and nurse someone else, you need to be able to name what's happening. And one of the things that I haven't heard you say, but I feel it in my body, is that you're angry, that you're sad, um, that you're fearful. That's what I pick up. I pick it up in your voice and your hesitancy. And I'm like, in order to nurse yourself or even to step into a space, the court of atonement, counseling, therapy, you need to be able to name what the emotions are. You can talk about what's happening and you do that well. Well, actually, I'll take that back. You are hesitant when you do it. Um, but I'm like, before you transition off of the open space in the share, can you name your emotions?
Uh, yeah, you pretty much hurt is probably the deepest emotion. All of the ones that you mentioned are definitely there on a regular basis.
Yeah, I hear it in your voice, sis. Your voice is becoming increasingly shaky. And I was talking to a client, well, not a client, someone that wanted support from me the other day. And they were talking about how they stuff down their emotions so they don't have to deal and they just work and keep going. I'm like, you're taking care of your grandkids and it's challenging. And sometimes as mothers, grandmothers, grandparents, let me put it out, no gender, anything. It's hard to say that you don't want to, or that you're tired of this, or right now I don't like this child, or I don't like what's happening. Like it's that's very hard. It's almost like taboo. And the power of being able to name a thing, that's one of the things we have as human beings. And being able to name what you are going through and what the experience is for you day to day, and whether you feel like you have a choice or not. Just hearing Charmaine speak about being a caregiver for an elder and just the frustration that comes up in it. If you don't name it, it'll seep out in other ways. And if you're nursing, you don't want anger, fear, resentment, deep hurt to be the driver of that care for yourself or for other people. So, I'm going to hand this back over to Amelia, but I didn't want you to get off the line or just go back on mute without having named that for yourself. You said, I named it, name the other stuff. So you said deep hurt. What else is there?
Uh, Frustration, uh, anger, uh, disappointment,
Okay. And where are you carrying it in your body, those things?
mostly in my heart, my chest, my gut.
Okay. And you know what's so wild? That's the heater in the background. That's the radiator.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like it's sounding all for you. If you don't do it, the radiator's like, I know what's up. It's gone off twice since we've been in the space earlier when you were talking. And I'm like, if be like that radiator without hurting anybody, but just let it out, right? The steam is there. And if you don't, imagine if that radiator just held and held and held and held, what would happen? If the radiator released that steam, what would happen?
It would explode.
Thank you. All right. So I just wanted to, before you got off, it's just like own your stuff. And I love that Amelia's doing this piece. Like we're all our own nurse, but sometimes you gotta um go on vacay as a nurse. You gotta administer your own care, because nursing everybody else when you're wanting to explode or about to explode, it's out of integrity. We do damage to ourselves and we could potentially do damage to others. Nobody's gonna die or anything, but the administering of the care is tainted by the unexpressed emotions, especially the low vibrational ones. But you're entitled to them because this shit is hard. So thank you for being you. Thank you for being part of this community. I love you so much. And I know
Thank
that
you.
you need to do on the Court of Atonement and everywhere else to make sure you address everything. So love you, sis.
Thank you. I love you too.
Shani, thank you for that. And thank you for going even deeper into acknowledging those things that are coming up. You know, just acknowledging the feelings of what's going on. During this time, it's a challenging period. It's a challenging period in itself. Then you add the extra weight that comes with caring for others and caring for family. So, you know, as you're speaking about the things that you are feeling, I want to encourage you to write those things out. If you're not already doing this as a practice, writing out the emotions of what I'm feeling right now. It's an excellent resiliency tool, journaling. And it allows you to see what's going on in the moment so you can face it for yourself as well. You know, going going through your day with those suppressed emotions, when you hold it in your body, it manifests in physical symptoms. Your stomach start to ache, you start to have heart palpitations, you have headache. All of that is the emotions that we hold within our body. And it's the release, sometimes just crying or screaming. I don't know if you guys saw this Ellen Tube recently. It's this little girl that plays drums. She's like 9 years old, and she talks about when she screams when she's playing the drums because it allows her to release everything. Sometimes you just need to scream, cry, and release all of that pent up emotions that you're feeling within your body. And that source of release actually allows you to actually feel better and then go into that next moment, right? And I also want to acknowledge, you mentioned that your grandkids are you're caring for them from autism, I believe you mentioned. Is that correct, Z?
Yes, the 5-year-old has autism.
And that's primarily the population that I work with in Northern California. And what I want to encourage you, if you don't already are receiving that support, is that there are foundations and communities and resources to help the caregiver who are supporting autistic kids. If you're not as familiar, you can feel free to reach out to me with an email and we can see what additional resources there are. And sometimes it's we're not getting the help that we need because we don't know the resources that are available to us to support those things that we're dealing with. So I would love to connect with you after, just to connect with around some of the resources that may be available to assist you and your daughter and your kids as well. It's amazing each county and city actually have so many resources that are geared towards helping families in need. Sometimes there are things that prevents us from asking for help or being aware that there's help available. But know that usually your county website, your city or state website has resources for those specific needs. There's also support groups. A lot of the families that I work with, they have support group for dealing with autistic kids, because that in itself is its own challenge, right? Not to mention all of the other challenges that comes just with normal family dynamics. So there are support that is available to you. We're gonna go into a brief, thank you, Z, just to come back. Thank you so much for sharing. We're going to go into a brief breakout room, a breakout experience. And as we go into that, I want to center us and ground us in a short, mindful moment as we get ready to go into that breakout room. And in the breakout room, what you're going to be sharing on is a blessing that has come out of this COVID 2020 experience that we're in. So let's take a moment, find your breath, find your position, and take a deep breath in. And I'll be sure to post the breakout instructions in the chat as well. Okay. just set this up. Okay. Find your breath, find your comfortable position. If your shoulders had raised throughout this conversation, making an intention to drop it and release everything that has come up in this conversation. Breathe out. Connect with that smile within and breathe deeply into that smile. Drop your shoulders one more time and breathe out. And as you're connecting with your breath and breathing in, pay attention to the sensations that you're feeling in your body. Where are you holding that tension? Is it in your stomach? Is it in your feet? Is it in your heart? Is it in your breath? Are you tense? Drop your shoulders and breathe out. And as you breathe in, allow the sensation to just move through your body. Tune in to your listening. What are the sounds that you hear around you? Is it the radiator? Is it the heat coming through? Is it the hum of the refrigerator? Is it just the sound of my voice? Drop your shoulders and breathe out. And take another deep breath in. And on our last breath, I want you to bring to mind something that you're grateful for in this moment. Drop your shoulders and breathe out. And take a deep breath into that gratitude. I'm grateful for this present moment. Grateful for community. Grateful for the hearts that share and let go some of the deepest things that they hold on inside. Grateful for the lessons that we learn from each other. Grateful to have a space that holds us up as we work through those things that we're dealing with individually. And come back to this moment. All right. Thank you guys for doing that practice. Are we ready for the breakout room?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe I'm making 9 rooms, 3 people per room. Awesome.
Okay. And so just to go over the instructions when you go into the breakout room. There's going to be 3 people, speaker 1, speaker 2, and an observer. Speaker 1 is going to share one of your greatest blessing of this time. And speaker 2 is just going to listen and then reflect back what they heard. You're going to do that for about 3 minutes. And then speaker 2 is now going to share their greatest blessing, and speaker 1 is going to reflect back. The third person in the room, it's just going to be observing and listening to the process. So once you get into your breakout room, decide who's going to be speaker 1, speaker 2, and then the observer. All right. Any questions before we go into the breakout?
Hi, yes, this is Kaisha. I have a question.
Yeah.
You said the greatest blessing of our time on session with you, or
No, of 2020 or going through COVID. Just your greatest blessing of 2020 or this period. Any other questions? does each person rotate? So there's only going to be two speakers. One speaker is speaking, the other speaker two is going to reflect back, then speaker two is speaking, and then speaker one is going to reflect back. And the third person in the room is just going to be observing the process.
Right. I'm just going to encourage the Facebookers to remain. There'll be some folks in the main space and they'll get to witness the experience. So you don't think, oh, I can leave now, or you can also participate.
Awesome. All right. We are ready to go into the breakout rooms.
John, just update us on where we're at.
I'm sorry, Shawnee, could you repeat?
Just let us know where we are in the process so that everybody knows if we're going now, if you need more time.
I am just about ready to open those rooms.
Yeah.
Just making sure that I'm looking to see where we are as the admins, have us going into rooms.
We'll just be in the main room. So we don't have to, you don't have to select a room for each of us.
Okay.
All right, so while
I have opened the rooms. I need to bring some people back.
All right, Facebook. Thank you for staying with us as we work through this process. So it's Mr. Martin and I. And so we're going to share what our greatest blessing is for 2020. Okay, Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Okay, so we are in the main room and we're still streaming to Facebook. So we're going to provide those Facebook audience with what that experience is going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and share what my greatest blessing is. And then you'll repeat back what I shared, and then you'll share what your greatest blessing is.
Okay.
Okay, so
Wait.
my,
Okay, so you and I in the main room, correct?
yeah, you're in the main room.
Who is in here with us?
There's nobody else.
The community.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay.
All right, perfect.
And then someone just joined the waiting room, so we will
Okay.
add her.
I'll have you share.
Okay. Welcome, Cheryl. We are in the main room. We're currently doing a breakout session. So I'm just going to share on what people in the breakout session is doing. So our greatest blessing of 2020, my greatest blessing of 2020. My greatest blessing has been the opportunity to be in reflection. The being shelter in place, I'm a person who have always gone to the office to work, and now working from home, it was a stressor for me. However, as shelter in place extended, and I just found out we're about to go back to shelter in place on Monday. I am in, yes, I'll post it for you, Cheryl. I am in California right now. So we're going to go back to shelter in place in on Monday, tomorrow. I have to think about where I am. So yeah, so it was just getting this opportunity to spend time with myself has allowed me to have a deeper connection with who I am and allow me to practice those tools that I've been learning. All right, Mr. Martin.
What's interesting about this? It's my first time doing a breakout room, so I am adminning the rooms, trying to put people back in rooms they're supposed to be in. But
Okay.
what I heard is, and I'm gonna be so off with this. Uh, um, Sounds like you said what I remember is your greatest blessing of 2020.
Mhm.
And I feel like I've totally messed this up, guys. Oh,
It's all good. Cheryl, are you there? Are you able to speak? Cheryl, does she need to be on mute, Mr. Martin?
yeah, Cheryl is unmuted. Okay, we still have. I'm gonna just leave the rooms where they are. I thank you guys for joining us and participating. We've got 3 people in each room so far, and the 3 of us here. So, if you don't mind, could you please share again? You've got my full attention.
Yeah, so my greatest blessing has been the opportunity to spend time in deeper reflection. It was difficult for me when we first went into shelter in place because I was often a person who just goes to the office, right? And so it was a challenge for me to now get into that space of not being at the office and spending time with myself. But over time, what happened was I got the um, opportunity to kind of connect with who I was and to strengthen and practice those tools that I was learning. So,
Okay, your greatest blessing was being able to have the deep reflections. You're no longer going to the office, so you're able to spend that time with yourself. Um, and that is as much as I can retain in the moment.
all good. So, how about you share what your greatest blessing has been?
Okay, so my greatest blessing was being able to connect with people virtually.
Mhm.
Um, I had been in a position where I was already locked into home because of my accident. And Wake Up Community gave me an option to create something of value by sharing my experience and connecting with people, connecting with like minded people, which is very important to me. And, and like you said, the reflection I've had of the reflection that I've seen being able to spend time with myself, um, getting closer to myself, understanding, connected with my thoughts deeper than being distracted with the constant, in and out of spaces. That has been my greatest blessing, one of my greatest blessings of 2020.
Awesome. So, what I heard from you is that you were already, due to your injury, already in a place of being at home. And the opportunity to connect with this virtual community of like minded individuals have been one of your greatest blessings of 2020.
Absolutely. Yes, that is it.
Awesome. Cheryl, I'm not sure if you're there or if you're unable to unmute, if you wanted to share what one of your greatest blessing was.
Okay, Cheryl's not with us,
I
but
wasn't really wanting to share this morning because my husband is asleep.
Oh, okay.
So I'll share it in the chat, okay?
Okay, that would be perfect. Thank you.
yeah. I'm gonna bring everyone back now and close the rooms. I think it's up.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Okay,
you,
they have
Cheryl.
60 seconds to come back.
Okay, perfect. I'm loving the picture of you and your husband, Cheryl. I'm assuming, making an assumption that that's a picture of your husband on your image there. Awesome. And so, yes. And so Cheryl says that one of her greatest blessings this year has been working with the Wake Up Everybody community. And I would have to agree. The conversations, the opportunity for learning and growth, and just being in like-minded, a space with like-minded individuals that's all about personal growth and development is amazing. So I've been grateful for this community as well.
Okay, awesome. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I love it. I'm seeing the chats coming through. A lot of our greatest blessing for this year has been working with this Wake Up Everybody community, and I would totally agree. I just want to acknowledge that we're 3 minutes to 8 o'clock, and I know sometimes people have to leave at that time. So if you do have to leave, I just want to say thank you for participating in today's session. It's such an honor when we get to co-create together and learn and grow with each other. So thank you for being here. All right, I'm seeing so many smiling faces. You're going off camera now, but I still see all your smiling faces. And I want to invite a few people to share what that experience was like for them. Whether you were a speaker or an observer, what was that experience like for you? And right now, Cynthia is calling to me. So Cynthia, if you're able to unmute and share, I would love that.
Good morning, everyone. I came in late, but I was able to catch right up. Mm-hmm. And I was in this space with my three, if they'll raise their hands. And we were all in a place of gratitude to be able to share and what this time meant for us. Some of us said we realized we need to slow down. And it made us self-reflect financially, emotionally, spiritually, regrouping, cleaning out our cabinets, taking courses, online courses, just being able to have a cup of tea and not have to run out of the house or have to be busy out in the street during this time. So I felt in my circle, we were all there was gratitude. So I was thankful for that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Cynthia. Mother Amal, I see you nodding and co-signing, so I'm just called to invite you to share as well.
Well, the interesting part about it is that Cynthia and I and Adam were in the same room, and that is the truth. I was saying that we can sip tea. In fact, Cynthia said that she went through her cupboard because one thing I've been doing is cleaning out my cupboard a little at a time, not trying to stress myself out, and found there were cans of food in there from 2017. So I've had an opportunity to do that. I've had an opportunity to really bond with my girls. They're in their 50s, but you know, with busy lives, you don't have time to do that. And I've had an opportunity to bond with my children as well, or my old women, and as we said, take on projects and take on call Zoom retreats or whatever you want to call it. The words don't come to me as quickly, but something that's uplifting, that's raising my vibration, and to be able to just sit in just who I am and just know in perfect gratitude for having chosen to be Black on this planet in 2020 at this time, and know that I can contribute if no other way but just shedding light and love on the planet.
I love that. Oh
That's
my goodness.
yes, ma'am.
And can I just say that we're just a recipient of all the love and light that you share and spread. So it's just beautiful.
I appreciate and accept the acknowledgement. Thank you. But I'm only reflecting what this community does for me as well. We just, it's like mirrors bouncing that energy back and forth.
I see a lot of ashe, and I'm just gonna say ashe.
Alhamdulillah.
All right. Adam, would you like to share?
I mean, sure. I mean, being in a break room with Amal and Cynthia just made me reflect on what I need to do to improve on myself and the kind of energy that I need to, invite each and every day. And I was also sharing with them that I was taking some online courses when it comes to real estate, business acquisition, and in investing. And I also, reflected on what I can do to, stay in shape by, going out to jog like every, other day to as therapy to, combat the pandemic that's going on. So it was pretty much, so my conversation was pretty much about self-improvement and what everyone can do instead of, worrying about what somebody else is doing or worrying about the pandemic itself, because the things that we have no control over, we can, focus on what we can have control over, which is our self-improvement.
I love that. Connecting to what we can have control over is just our own self-improvement. Thank you so much for sharing that, Adam.
You're welcome.
All right, Deborah, would you like to share?
Good morning. For me, I think that the community in Wake Up Everybody has really just helped me a lot with learning to be in connection with others, but also with myself and loving myself more, and taking more responsibility for my life. Because I think that I was kind of numbing myself out, just being on that hamster wheel, and just taking responsibility for the life that I want to have. So this community has really helped me a great deal with that. And I also love the example that was just given, being able to sit down and have a cup of tea and not be in rush sometimes. That's been really nice. I'm back at work now, so I have to go in about 3 or 4 days out of the week. They haven't given us a full schedule yet, so things have picked up, but I still feel that this community and the self-love that I've gained and that healing that's been happening it's been just tremendous for me, because the stress has been rough, but still having this love and community and learning to appreciate who I am and just trying to create the life that I have while I have it, that's been, it's just been a blessing for me. I'm complete.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. So
Thank
much
you.
of what I heard in there is your self-love, giving yourself love. It's so interesting how in this time over these last few years, the awareness of the importance of loving ourselves and doing those things, even the small rituals of like having a cup of tea and like just being at peace with that, are all acts of loving ourselves and giving ourselves and filling ourselves up. So thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing. Teresa, would you like to share?
Yes, hi. I choose to be the observer, and I was like, Teresa, just listen. And what I heard the lady saying was that some of them were dealing with loss. Some was dealing with being grateful for the wake up call. the wake up series. They were also grateful. Like one of the sisters was saying that she wrote a gratitude. She does a gratitude list every morning, and she says she just loves it because she's learned to appreciate being more grateful. Um, One of the ladies was saying that she was grateful that she had a new grandchild, and that she was dealing with grief, but she still was just grateful for the wake up call. And one sister was saying that she was grateful to be like where she was at that time. And I actually was like having like a dilemma last night before I went to bed about feeling like someone else is trying to push their thoughts onto me. So she just gave me such a reassurance. Like even though I was quiet, which I don't hardly be quiet, but even though I was quiet, I got a chance to get ministered to the ladies by what they were saying, because it was like my sister, myself, and so it was a blessing, hearing them talking about being grateful, and one was saying that they use their voice, so even like that's something too that I've sometimes I've been back down and not using my voice. So it was like they were just speaking to me, and I dealt with loss also this year myself. So it was like dealing with loss. So it's like it was like even though I decided to be quiet, it was like they were speaking my words to me. And so that was just amazing how, we were divinely picked, you know, in this group, and how yet, we are so similar. And so this is what I love about the wake up, is that it just puts people with the same like mind, whatever that you're dealing with. And it's just an awesome, place to be part of. And thank you so much. And I'm complete.
I love it, Teresa. Thank you so much. There was so much in that I want to comment on. The idea that, and I'm going to take this particular quote from Coach Chantel here, and it's, "You're on this line by divine design. You are all here. We're drawn into this moment for what you can learn from each other." And it's always a fascinating experience for me when I go into a breakout room, which is why I wanted us to have the experience of that breakout room, is that you will often find that the person who's speaking is reflecting back to you exactly what you needed to hear in that moment. And it's just an amazing work of spirit how that happens. So thank you, Teresa, for actually reminding us and highlighting that. And the other thing that you touched on was the idea of gratitude. Now, gratitude is an amazing, resilient tool, right? Gratitude, the act of doing a gratitude journal, it's something that I practice every day. And if I don't get to write it in my journal, I record it. And it's just the idea, if when you get up in the morning and you find 5 things, just 5 things to be grateful for. I'm grateful I woke up this morning. I'm grateful for the fact that I can breathe. I'm grateful for the fact that I have a house to live in. I'm grateful for the water that's coming out of the faucet. I'm grateful for having heat. 5 things that you can focus on sets your day up. And as you go through your day, you're going to find that you'll find more things to be grateful for throughout the day as different things comes up and comes your way. And if you end your night by reflecting back on 5 things that happened throughout that day that you're grateful for, you're setting yourself up to go to sleep with that mindset of gratitude. Now, on a physiological level, what gratitude does for your body. Several years ago, there was the scientist that found that there are neurons that are in your heart. Those neurons that are in your heart connects to the neurons that are in your brain. And in that act of coherence, you are put your body into this state of coherence that activates your well-being. So when you actually intentionally choose to focus on gratitude, you are creating a coherence between your heart and your brain that actually allows the coherence to flow through the rest of your body and activates your healing and well-being receptors within your body. So gratitude is truly something that you can take on as a practice. And if you don't have yourself a gratitude journal, I'm telling you, get one because it will absolutely change your life. I want to just thank everyone for the shares that you go through. And I'm going to move us through that last piece of our resiliency tool. And it's the act of letting go. And in the process of letting go and releasing is one of the greatest, most powerful thing is forgiveness. Now, how many of you can think about things that happen in your life that you need to be forgiven for, or you want to let go of? Practicing and incorporating forgiveness intentionally is one of the most powerful, resilient tool that you can incorporate as you go through your day, as you go through your life journey, as you go through living in this society. You're going to encounter things that you're going to need to let go and release, or you're going to continue to carry those things with you into that next moment and allow it to weigh you down. Now, one of those, it's something as simple as, oh my gosh, my technology is not working right. Forgiveness, bringing in forgiveness in that moment will allow you to now go into that next moment so you're not worrying about all of, oh my gosh, I didn't do that right. Now, how many of you have had something that happened 7 o'clock this morning? I didn't say the right thing, or I messed up what you consider to be messed up when I did. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Now it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Your mind is still focused on what happened at 7 o'clock. In all of that period, you are not connecting to those moments that have happened because you're still focused on that thing that happened 7 o'clock in the morning. What about if that thing happened to you when you were 2 years old or 3 years old? And now you're like me, 39, and you're still holding on to that thing that happened when you were 3. Your whole life you've been living, holding on to those things and allowing it to impact you as you go through your day, your life, your journey. When I mentioned my dad, the circumstances of his passing, I had to bring in forgiveness for the people who can take someone's life. I had to bring in forgiveness for not spending as much time with my dad as I could have, because I didn't think he wouldn't be there. There was not a concept in my mind of imagining that he wasn't going to be here for the rest of my life or for a significant amount of my life. I had to bring in so much forgiveness for myself. I had to bring in forgiveness for the distance that had occurred in my family after my dad's passing. He was the light and he was the glue that kind of brought us together. I had to forgive myself for allowing myself to stay in a state of depression for as long as I did, right? I had to forgive myself for the length of time that it took for me to remember my dad's greatest blessing and legacy is the kids that he created and left in this world to carry forth and heal and share and connect with other people. That's his greatest legacy. And in honoring him in that way, he lives on through me, through us, and is still a light into this world. These are the things that I had to work on letting go. Now, I know you can all think about so many different things that you can focus on needing to let go. So I'm going to invite you to take your paper that you brought and pen, and I'm going to ask you in this moment to write down, I'm giving you 30 seconds, to write down 3 things that you need to forgive and let go of. 30 seconds, the first 3 things that comes to your mind. I'm going to set my timer. So 30 seconds. Okay. Now, again, it's just the first three things that comes to mind, right? And that's actually going to indicate for you the things that you are still holding on to. Now, I'm going to give you another 30 seconds of those three things that you wrote down. I want you to think about one of the greatest blessing that came as a result of that thing that you needed to let go. I'm not going to start the timer just yet. I'm going to give you an example. The loss of my dad shifted me and my whole being so much, it sent me on a journey inward. This journey inward over time eventually allowed me to connect to who I was. It allowed me to connect to the God that lives within me. It allowed me to connect to faith. It allowed me to go on this journey of mindfulness and personal development. It is the thing that actually even got me to be here today, speaking and sharing in front of you all, right? That thing that I thought that I could never let go of, in some way has created things that I can actually find to be grateful for. So I'm going to again set that timer for 30 seconds and think about one of those things that you wrote down. What was a blessing that came from one of those things? All right. Now, you know what we love to do here. I'm going to invite someone to share what that experience was like for them, either what came up and what the blessing was that you saw. And I saw Mother Amal raise her hand. So go ahead, Mother Amal.
You know, I don't often reveal this, and maybe people, wait a minute, let me see if I can get off camera there. And maybe people know it because, you know, you try to hide stuff, but everybody already knows it. What it is, what it is that what I have to forgive myself for is not being a stronger matriarch, not being a stronger mother when I was raising my girls, because my youngest child does not walk in the same footstep that I do now. And for years, I was angry with her and angry with myself. And as a result, it created such a schism between the two of us that I didn't know that whether it would ever be breached. But what I'm grateful for is that, as Spirit would have it, she is the one that is living with me, that has been living with me through COVID, and that I've had to heal that. I've had to not be so angry because we could not have existed in this home, in this 2-bedroom apartment all this time if I was harboring that. And as a result of my harboring that, she harbored something too. But we are working it out daily. We're working it out every day. She does more drinking than I would want, but I had to actually accept her even in that. Set some parameters or some boundaries, I should say, because I don't smoke, I don't drink, and she does both. But she's been respecting it. So that's the blessing and the gratefulness out of my forgiving myself and forgiving. Yeah, it's only myself that I have to forgive because she is on her path. She chose that path, and whatever comes of it, I don't have to live it. She does. So I'm just going to love her and just be as supportive as I can.
Thank you, Mother Amal. And you know what you said in that forgiveness, right, of work that you had to do, you actually got to really that key part, letting go. letting go of the outcome that she has to be any different than she is.
Absolutely.
That's what forgiveness does. It allows you to acknowledge, I forgive me, and that other person gets to be who they are with boundaries, right? You set your boundaries, but that other person still gets to be who they are. And the letting go is letting go and allowing that to be so. Because if you are spending your time trying to fight that, then you're just going to continually to do this and not have that beautiful, beautiful relationship that you guys were able to come back to.
Yeah.
So thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. And nothing like the work. Now, this is just a life journey because and it's generational, you know.
Mhm.
Because my mother and her mom, me and my mother, and then my daughter and myself is generational. And I'm saying I'm going to break that bond at this juncture.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah, thank you for letting me share
Thank
it.
you for sharing. One of the greatest work that has come out of my forgiveness work is acceptance of my parents, of who they are. There's for me, what came in was that awareness that we are all doing the best that we know how to do. And even though our families, again, are often the source of our greatest conflict, it's also the source of our greatest growth. And the awareness that every single person is only doing the best that they know how to do. I could go back in my past and say, my mother didn't do this or my dad didn't do that. But the reality is, at every moment, they were doing the best that they knew how to do. So if I can bring myself to just that awareness of, they're just doing the best that they can, I'm just doing the best that I can, it allows a better relationship to form. It allows a better experience of that relationship to be, because I'm not holding on to, oh, they should have been this or they should have been that. I'm accepting that it is what it is. And that forgiveness, what it leads to is acceptance of this moment. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I would like to invite someone else to share what they wrote down and what came up for them as well. Um, I'm not seeing any raised hands, so I'm going to move to calling on Linda, if you're willing
Oh, you have
to share.
Terry. Linda can definitely share, but you also have Terry too. She
Oh,
raised.
okay. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Linda and then Terry.
All right, let me invite Linda to unmute. Linda Hall. There you go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so I had stepped away again and I came back and heard my name called. So what would you like me to do?
Just if you were able to do the exercise, something that you needed to forgive and maybe something you found grateful for in that.
Okay. Can you possibly come back to me and let the other person go first?
Sure, for sure. Terry, would you like to go now?
Sure. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. I one of the things I had to let go of is how people have treated me in the past, how people continue to treat me, sometimes when it's less than loving, and past issues that I had with my mom. What I am grateful for is the work that I've been doing on myself to realize that the only person that I can control is myself. Looking at the beautiful things that I offer, trying to see things from more than just my perspective. As you said, learning to appreciate my mom for what she has brought to the situation and what her past experiences are, and learning for us to communicate with one another in areas that we agree as opposed to areas that we don't agree. And the end result is that I have been very grateful. I'm always very appreciative of her because she's made a lot of sacrifices for me, even though we may not have always agreed. And we're now talking every day, where we were like rarely talking before. And I'm learning to stay out of those areas that might cause friction for us, because I just realized that I'm blessed to still have her, and I want to enjoy the rest of the time that we have together.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, Terry. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing. Our parents, we may not recognize it. They do make serious sacrifices for us. And getting to that point of understanding that, of connecting with that, and then the resulting relationship that results from that, it's beautiful. So thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing that. All
Thank
right,
you
Linda.
for allowing.
Yes. Um, Basically, I would say that my growing up, that I was very hurt because I've always felt that I was not really wanted, um, from the standpoint that my mom had to work. My dad died when I was 3, so I never got a chance to know my dad. My mom worked as a nurse, and she worked various shifts, and so she wasn't able to be with me, during the holidays. She chose um, to, like, for the holidays, she chose to work. And basically, she always would say, I'm going to work because, so and so has children, and this is the only opportunity they have to spend with their children. I always felt neglected from that standpoint. Like, well, I'm your child too, so I don't understand, why this is happening. And so, like I said, I always just felt rejected or neglected. But what has come out of that is, um, I find that I do have part of my mom deeply within me in terms of nurturing. And so I realize now that she was nurturing other people, not realizing that she was putting me aside. And I know that it wasn't intentional. And then, it made me reflect back to my mom. And she grew up that way because her mom, which was my grandmother, died when my grandmother died when my mom was 8. So she never really even had a mother. So it's kind of hard for her to, you know, grow into what a mother should be. And so, so I've seen how that's, it was not her fault. And I don't, and so I've just taken on the responsibility of trying to help and nurture others, um, in a legacy of my mom.
Oh, I love that, Linda. I love that so much. I heard so much of my own story in your share. My mom is a nursing assistant as well. And the greatest thing that brings her joy is she's a nursing assistant. And the greatest thing that brings her joy is caring for her patients, the joy that she gets from nurturing them. And I
Uh-huh.
too, growing up, had that experience of holidays. She, luckily, her job was right beside where we live, so she'd work and she'd run home and we'd have dinner. But like your mom, her mom died early in her life. She actually died the week I was born. So her own journey was that experience of um, nurturing herself. And then through that, it came from nurturing others, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of her greatest gifts and blessings and trait that she passed on to me. So I'm grateful that you recognize that blessing that it has been for you in your life as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the last thing I was going to share with that is that also my mom happened to be the oldest of her siblings. And so, because, she was 8 when her mom died, she was left with the responsibility of helping to raise her 6 brothers and sisters. So technically, she never had a childhood as well.
It's amazing how when we reflect on our parents' journey, how it
Mhm.
allows us to find understanding and compassion to shine through. Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you. Guys, this has been an amazing, amazing conversation. I know that there were so many shares in the chat that I'm definitely going to have to go back and read through. As we prepare to close out to an end, I'm going to ask Shawnee. I did not give you my special number, Shawnee, so I'm just going to choose 7 and 27.
Okay.
And as you go through who those are, I'm going to actually bring our closing affirmations and centering. So I'm going to invite you all to go on mute and share this with me and say this with me. But before that, I want to remind you there is a spirit of a nurse inside each and every one of you. And the best thing that you can do for yourself is to nurture that spirit through grounding and resilient techniques that we went through today, connecting with your breath, acknowledging your feelings, learning how to listen, and then practicing forgiveness and letting go. It's been such an honor to share and co-create and hear your stories today. And I want to end it by just affirming these things. I am worthy. And you can repeat that to yourself. I am worthy. I belong. I am complete. I am whole. I am perfect. And I am enough. And so it is.
All right, beautiful, sis. So the special offer, we'll put that up as a slide so that the community can see, and then I'll announce the names of the 2 winners. So can you share what it is, and then I'll declare they are.
Awesomeness. So, this 1 hour consultation is to have a conversation around mindfulness practice that you may already be incorporating in your life, but also to introduce you to some and kind of create a plan for you to help to incorporate it more into your everyday experience. And our lucky 2 winners are?
The 2 winners are Deborah and Teresa Scott. And we just need a yes from the 2 of you if you accept.
Yes. You know what? I have 2 things that I just recently won. I would like to give it to someone. I would like to give it to your sister, Joyce.
Yes, to accept.
I mean, yes, I accept it, but I'd like to give it to your sister, Joyce.
Has to accept. So Joyce, I don't know if is Joyce still on the line. She is. So
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, God.
Okay. Good morning, sissy. All right.
Hey.
You said yes for the mindfulness consultation.
Thank you, Teresa.
I love it.
All right. And
Thank you.
So Joyce, you want me to share your cell with Amelia or your email? How do you want her to be in touch?
Okay. Her information is on the what
Yeah, we'll show it. So you just have to screenshot it, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Teresa.
And Deborah, are you there? Deborah, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here. I just won something, so I would love to gift it to someone else. If I don't know if Z would be interested. I don't know.
We have to see. So Z? Zakia, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I am interested, and I'm making a commitment to accept and also to catch up on all the things I've won over the time we've been here.
I love it. I love this community so much.
Thank you.
I want to say something about that. I count it all as joy that there are opportunities for abundance to be shared, that the facilitators are like, I will provide this complimentary space or this discounted something, you know. But one of the things, it's a phenomenon that happens with winning things, and it's not just Wake Up, it's everywhere, that we won't collect the abundance sometimes that the universe gives. And I just like wonder what that is about. Not the sharing of it. It's like, oh, I'll pass this on to someone else. I love that there's a spirit of sharing in the space. And I always check it if I think it's too quick, like, please hold it for yourself. This is for you. However, there's been a lot of winnings that have not been redeemed in this space. And in the spirit of mindfulness and then also abundance and reciprocity in the universe giving, giving, giving to us. It's like that analogy that people talk about all the time. It's like I'm drowning in the ocean and I'm like, oh, I'm waiting for God to save me. And a helicopter comes and it's like, no, I'm waiting for God. And a boat comes, it's like, no, I'm waiting for God. A scuba diver comes like, no, God is going to save me. It's like, hello, God is trying to save you. So just offering to the community that opportunity to redeem the levels of abundance that spirit has given, not just in Wake Up, but in those who are like, what can I do for you? And we don't like, oh, I'm good. Like, here is the opportunity to receive. So just putting that out there. If you haven't redeemed your abundance, go and do it. I invite you. So, Amelia, if you could share your contact information.
Yes. Just move the slide. On Facebook, it's everywhere. It's Amealya Blake. It's really simple. So on Facebook, I'm Amealya Blake. On Instagram, I'm Amealya_Blake, and my email, amealyablake@gmail.com. So please feel free to reach out, shoot me an email. If you have any questions or want to just connect around some of the things that came up for you today, always, always, always happy to share. Love offerings and donations. My own natural energy yield. The spirit of giving and receiving. What you give out, you get back multiplied. I'm a firm believer in that. And so I invite you to offer your donations either via Zelle or QuickPay at soulleadershipdevelopment@gmail.com or Cash App, Spirit of a Woman. And the code for today's session, 211AB. All right, moving on. And I welcome all the abundance that flows from you all in the giving and receiving. Coming up, two amazing, amazing presentation. Tomorrow, Monday, December 7th, we have Undoing the Programs of Happiness Part 1, which is exciting. There's another version coming, and that's facilitated by Tirza Barnes-Griffith. On Tuesday, we'll be having Transformation Tuesday, guided meditation and yoga, facilitated by Stacy McLean. Two excellent, excellent sessions coming up. Do you want me to take this one, Ashani?
Sure. Love to.
Okay.
You were doing so well. I was like, go ahead, let her rock out. To the community, to the new participants here, I see that there are some who are here for the first time. So put in the chat if you are here for the absolute first time. I don't know if they're still in the space, the names that I saw that are new. But if you're new to the community, just acknowledge that, and we welcome you and we thank you for spending 90 plus juicy minutes with us on this morning. Thank you, Dr. Roche or Roche. I'm not Roche. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. This community is a loving nest of abundance. There's so much here. So I invite you to come back. I always, you don't know me, but this is just me. The community will tell you. So I'm like, no, hit it and quit it. Have you ever heard that Dr. Roche? Like, hit it and quit it? No, hit it and quit it. Like, come back for more juice because it's here for you. So don't let just Amealya presenting today be the only reason why you're in this space with this community co-creating with us. We send you love and we invite you to come on back and be in our home, the Wake Up Everybody home, where we ascend and excel and expand with intention and with integrity. So this week we started off Sunday. Thank you, Amealya, for starting us off so powerfully. We have 90-minute sessions on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday from 7 to 8:30. And then on Mondays and Wednesdays, we have sessions from 7 to 7:30, 30 minutes of juice and love. I love my word juice. That's one of our wake up words. So 7 to 7:30. It's not anything less, it's other than time, but the power is definitely present, just like in the 90-minute session. So don't stop yourself from joining us because it's a shorter session. Invite others to join us in this space. We grow as a community and we discover else we need by inviting new voices. And you never know, the next voice that comes in may have the formula for transformation or the acceleration of a vision or a dream that you have for your life. So keep inviting and keep being generous in that sense and keep showing up so we can move forward. Thank you, John. So for Dr. O'Shea and others in the space that need to be reminded, every week we register for the upcoming week and we review. You know, some of us is just like, whomever it is, I'm just going to land. But for those who need to know what's up and what's coming, we have a registration document and a landing page that tells you all of the awesome people that will be facilitating and just the details that you would benefit from knowing. We have a Facebook page. So if you're not on the Facebook page, please do join. If you are on the Facebook page and have never posted and shared what you're getting from the experience, please do post. We want to hear from you. Please do that. And Instagram at Wake Up Series for 2021, we're going to be expanding our presence on Instagram because that's one of the places to be in these modern times. And then YouTube, we're going to reactivate our YouTube page because there was a glitch with it. We'll be fixing that as we move into the first quarter of next year. And then also email info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. And let's move into the love shower, our love fest, something that is unique to the Wake Up community, which we do every morning when we have an awesome person come in and share their insights, their brilliance, and their joy and energy with us. So if you're able to show yourself, please do your beautiful faces as you say, thank you to Amealya for everything that she has provided. So let's do it, family.
Thank you, Amealya. It was a great
Thank you, Amealya.
a
So
great
beautiful.
Thank you,
session.
Amealya.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Amelia.
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 Wonderful.
Amelia.
Thank
Great
you,
job.
and
Thank
you did a great
you.
job. Start my
Thank
day
you,
today.
Chair.
Thank
Thank you,
you. Thank
Amelia.
you.
Thank
Don,
you,
welcome
everyone.
here.
So
Thank
much.
Two
you.
weeks, welcome.
Thank you for
Have a
showing up
beautiful
You're gonna love it.
so generously with our
Come back.
community.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Have a
you.
blessed and
Thank
wonderful
you.
day, everybody.
Great.
Thank you.
Everybody have a
Great
great
day.
day.
You're
Have a
great,
Good day,
Amealya.
everybody.
Be well, everyone.
Good to see everyone.
All
Have a
right.
blessed
Have a
day.
wonderful one.
Love y'all.
Thanks, Amelia.
Please,
Thanks, Amelia. Loving it.
Thanks again,
Yes.
Amelia.
Loving it. Loving it.
Wonderful.
Loving it.
Thank you.
here we
Thank
go.
you.
Enjoy the day. Bye bye.
Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Bye bye.